Welcome to Coop's Corner. Come along for the journey. It's a lifestyle and it's all about learning.
Would you say that racism exists in Africa?
Me personally, I've not experienced racism. No, I've not.
That is the biggest problem in Africa. We are our own problem.
Yes, racism does exist in Africa, and I think it's at a greater percentage.
The whites know everything. The whites are smart. They are better than us.
What's going on, everybody? It's your man Jackson Cooper, aka J Coop, live from Nairobi, Kenya CBD. We have a very important video coming up for you. We're going to be asking Africans, does racism exist in Africa? Now this should be very interesting. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, who do we have here today?
Elijah.
Tony McGregor.
Okay, where are you guys from?
I'm from Nairobi.
Nairobi too.
Okay, so have you guys been to any other countries in Africa other than Kenya?
For now, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me too, no.
Okay. So just speaking in Kenya, do you think that racism exists here?
I don't think so. Yeah, we don't have racism in Kenya. But it depends. Because, most of the people usually relate politics with racism. But for me, I believe that we don't have racism as representing the youth.
What's your age?
I'm 22 years.
22. Okay. What about you? What do you think?
I feel like racism is a non-existent kind of topic in Africa because Africans, we are accommodative people. We like every other races equally, so I don't think racism is that.
Okay. If racism doesn't exist, do you feel that Kenyans are treated the same as foreigners when they come visit?
Yeah, I think, but also it depends. Yeah, I think it depends. Because, most of the time when foreigners come in Kenya, they usually treated so well. Kenya, they believe that foreigners have money and stuff. Yeah, you see. But I believe they can just treat you the same. Because right now, as we are for now, we can't compare today like the past.
Yes.
Yeah, because things are changing, and us as youth, we're not taught about being racist to others. We're taught about loving other people. Yeah, so I believe that as time goes, racism is going to non-exist.
I feel like in terms of exploitation, yeah, they get exploited at some point because they're exploited in terms of their lack of knowledge in some fields. So yeah, exploitation, they get that a bit.
I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bro. Oh, man.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. Okay, who do we have here today?
Hi, my name is Ivy. I'm also a reporter as well, actually.
Okay.
So that's why I'm here. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you for joining me, Ivy. So, where are you from?
I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. Yes, but my up country is Homa Bay.
Have you been to any other African countries other than Kenya?
Other than Kenya, I've been to Tanzania only within the African continent.
Okay.
Yes.
So since you've been to 2 African countries, would you say that racism exists in Africa?
Yes, racism does exist in Africa, and I think it's at a greater percentage because I've experienced it firsthand. I really like going to restaurants, and that being said, most of the restaurants I go to are like 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, and the treatment you get compared to the treatment foreigners get is very different. You'll make a reservation, and a foreigner will walk in, like just randomly walk in. Your table will be cancelled, and it will be given to them. So what do we call that if it's not racism? Yeah, so I've experienced it, and I can say it really does exist.
There are some Africans that say that racism doesn't exist. Can you give me your perspective on why they would say that?
If someone says that and they're African, it's just because maybe they haven't explored much or they haven't been in spaces where they're with other people from other places, you get. Yeah, they're just confined in one place.
Well, that was a great answer. I really appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right. Okay, who do we have here today?
Abdul.
Nice to meet you, Abdul. Where are you from?
I was born in Qatar. and I was brought in Kenya, but I was raised up in Nairobi. Yeah.
How many African countries have you been to so far?
And I went to Tanzania. A really cool place like Malindi, Mombasa, really.
So you've been to a couple African countries.
Yeah.
Would you say that racism exists in Africa?
Not really, because I don't seem racism exist in Africa, because we are all we will be there equal. If you there will be a respect between your bond and the other tribe. Yeah, and if you're black, it doesn't matter because that's how you're born. If I was born black, I would have been really happy because I really like to be called nigga all the time.
What?
But because I really like that. But it's okay the way I was born.
I see you're like a lighter skinned individual.
Yeah.
Would you say that you may get treated differently than somebody that's darker skinned than you? Or like, have you ever noticed that before?
Not really, because I've never been treated different with another color. If maybe if the guy seems like he's way too high, just tell him to let's be respectful. Yeah.
Like, I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, bro. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
My man. Okay, who do we have here today?
My name is Eric.
Nice to meet you, Eric. Where are you from?
I'm from Kenya.
What is it that you do?
I'm in between jobs, but I do basically everything. You see, money is the basic goal. So whatever brings money, we do it.
All right, so how many African countries have you been to?
They're in East Africa.
Okay.
So it's Tanzania, Uganda, and Ethiopia.
Would you say that racism exists in Africa?
In my opinion, Africans are the most loving people. We welcome everyone. We don't care about race. But when the Africans go to the US, to Europe, that's where racism comes in. I'm of the opinion that Kenyans are not racist. Yeah, Kenyans are very loving and welcoming. And I think it's kind of a disadvantage for us, but that's a story for another day.
I think that Kenyans are very nice as well, but do you think that sometimes you guys can be too nice to foreigners or other people?
Yeah, and I think it comes with the traditions. Yeah, because as Kenyans, basically, we were taught that the whites know everything. The whites are smart. They are better than us. The whites know everything. The whites are smart. They are better than us. What the racist people say is true. I don't believe that we are backwards or anything. Color doesn't mean anything.
Okay, well, that was a great answer, man. Like, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, who do we have here today?
My name is Melody Njuguna.
Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Kenya. I'm Kenyan, born and raised in Kenya.
What is it that you do for a living? Are you in school? Do you work? If you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, I'm a student at the University of Nairobi. I'm doing my master's in armed conflict and peace studies. Yeah.
Nice. How many African countries have you been to other than Kenya?
Oh my God, I've been to only 3. Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Just the East African countries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that racism exists in Africa?
Okay, yeah, I do think that racism exists in Africa. I'm going to speak in context of my own country. I find that it has been observed and noted that when tourists come into the country, when they go to high-end restaurants or hotels, they are given much more priority as compared to the locals. That's some sort of racism.
What if it's not restaurants or hotels? Like, have you ever experienced it just living life normally?
Me personally, I've not experienced racism. No, I've not. But I think that will depend with the people you interact with on a day-to-day basis for you to actually tell whether there is racism. But from what I know, the ones that maybe work in Asian companies, in the Asian textile industries, they tend to experience a lot of racism, and there's open racism, and they talk about it, and I don't think it's addressed. No, it's not addressed.
That was good that you brought that up, because like I've seen on the internet where they get mistreated sometimes when they work for those companies.
Yeah, they do.
So like that happens here in Kenya?
Yeah, it does happen here in Kenya. Yeah, it does happen. It's open, but you know, it's because the resources are scarce and people need to survive on whatever. people are living from hand to mouth. So whatever you have to do to get by on a day-to-day basis, so people have to just persevere, but there's open disrespect, open racism. There's no respect and fairness between the employers and the black African workers. Yeah.
That was great information. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay, who do we have here today?
My name is Caleb Sagali.
Nice to meet you. So where are you from?
I come from Kenya. Okay. I'm Kenyan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been to any other African countries other than Kenya?
Oh, wow. I've been to 27 African countries working in the field of geology, finance. Actually, last week I was in Abia State, Nigeria. I also got an opportunity to go to Port Harcourt and Abuja. Yes, last week. What mesmerizes my mind is what I can call the African curse. How can a continent so vast with a lot of opportunities, and yet in the same continent you have the poorest of the poorest? That does not beat logic. I've been to places where people are mining gold, they're mining coltan, they're mining diamonds, they're mining all these precious minerals and the gemstones. I mean, that's what I do. And that's what takes me around the nations. But there is one constant that really disturbs my mind.
What's that?
The people who live in those places are not partakers of what comes out of the ground. So that is the African curse. That is the biggest problem in Africa. We are our own problem.
Would you say that racism exists in Africa?
Maybe when you're talking in Africa, talk of xenophobia. What is the racism against? Who are we against? An African against an African because we are all black. The African mind, the African person was indoctrinated to think that they are lesser before the other races. It's actually the Africans looking upon the other races. That the other races are more superior than the African. So that is the problem. There are two investors who are vying for the same to get the mining rights. A black man comes with $1 million. A white man, a green man, a yellow man, a brown man. If they come with less than that amount, believe you me, the other color will be given the mining rights and the African will be denied. I see this every other day in all the places that I go to. I wouldn't want to live in America. I wouldn't want to stay in Europe, especially Germany. Those guys are racist. Yes. You don't get to see that here. Here, Muzungu will come and have his day.
It may not be looked at as racism, but do you think that the colonialism that happened played a part in this?
Wonderful. The colonialists did a great havoc to Africa. They indoctrinated our people. They made us feel that our religion was not the right religion. Our way of life was not the way of life. They brought this Western culture, termed it as a more superior way of life. If colonialists did havoc, then the people who took over the mantle from the colonialists did greater damage. We were indoctrinated to think that the black man is inferior. Good day, my brother.
That was a good note right there, man. Thank you, bro.
Welcome.
My man. Okay, who do we have here today?
Oh, we have Esther Oliwa.
Nice to meet you, Esther. Where are you from?
I'm from Syokimau.
Is that in Kenya?
That's in Kenya. Syokimau. Syokimau, it's in Kenya.
So have you traveled to any other African countries other than Kenya?
I've been to Uganda. I've been to Djibouti. Yeah, only those two countries.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Does racism exist in Africa?
It does. I can't lie, it does exist. So from my point of view, yeah, I think it does exist. Kenya or Africa, it's like continue to develop. So from my point of view, I think like some like Europeans or some like whites like we intermarry like. So I don't think like our skin complexion or our racism has to affect. Yeah, has nothing to do with. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
My name is Omer.
Nice to meet you, Omer. Where are you from?
I'm from Somalia.
So are you currently living in Kenya or are you visiting?
Yeah, I am a student in Kenya for only 2 years.
How many countries have you visited in Africa? How many have you been to?
I've said Ethiopia, Uganda, Somalia.
So would you say that racism exists in Africa?
I didn't meet racism in Kenya because of all we are Africans. So I didn't meet any racism in Kenya. It's like my second country.
Being in Somalia, did you ever experience racism there? Because not too many people are familiar with Somalia.
Somalis mostly they are not racist for other communities in Kenya. It's okay. We are all of us African. Amen. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, bro.
Thank you. Okay. So who do we have here today?
Tiffany Wamboi,
Nice to meet you, Tiffany. Where are you from?
Kenya, Nairobi,
What other countries have you visited in Africa other than Kenya?
Rwanda, only. Yes.
Would you say that racism exists in Africa?
No, to me, no, because in Kenya, I'm speaking on behalf of where I live. Kenya is a free and joyful country. We welcome everyone, no matter black, white, we don't care. Come, do your thing, be happy. Yeah.
So have you ever met a Mzungu since you've been here in Kenya?
Yes, I have. Actually, people were looking different at me because, I don't know, when you work with a white person, people are staring at you. What's up? Yeah, but racism, no.
No? Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, Tiff kept it short and sweet. Thank you.
Thank you, bye.
Okay, so who do we have here today?
My name is Nguya.
Are you from Kenya?
Yes, I'm Kenyan.
So how many African countries have you visited beside Kenya?
Just one more, Tanzania.
Would you say that racism exists in Africa?
Probably yes, but not so much in very small quantities because find some foreigners live exclusively and exclude other Kenyans. But it's not very big, but it is. In a sense, it is, yeah.
How does it feel to be excluded in your own country?
It feels odd. It feels bad that there's some places, some restaurants, for example, in upmarket areas that will sort of exclude Kenyans. Mm-hmm. I remember something like that happened sometimes in a coastal town called Malindi. I think probably in smaller quantities in places like Karen, but it just feels... It feels bad to be excluded within your own country. Yeah.
How do you think that Kenyans can change that? I mean, this is your country.
Kenyans tend to speak out more now. I think social media has helped to fight off some of these elements of racism, which are not, so again, it's not a very big issue, but the little that happens, Kenyans are very good at raising issues over the internet and creating some issue around it.
I really want to thank you.
Asante sana. Karibu Kenya.
Amen. Thank you, brother. There you have it. Does racism exist in Africa? I feel like we got some great answers, but let me give you my opinion. Even though I'm not an African, I have something to say. Now, there was something called the Berlin Conference that happened in Africa. Europe split up all of the countries and turned them into their own colonies, right? People may not see that as racism, but that is a form of colonialization. Kenya is a great place. Look at the vibes, look at the people around. This video was not easy to make whatsoever. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this video, man. The world needs to see this. And once again, my name is Jackson Cooper, and I'm about to have some fun in Nairobi CBD. Till next time, peace.
How it felt, I can't wait